Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
All right, Sabbath and peace to all of you. To Jacob for his mercy, truly endured forever. It's truly a blessing and a privilege to be here at this time, in this place, giving thanks to the Most High, worshiping the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the true worshipers of the Most High, the children of Israel, right, the Most High's chosen people. So we're going to go into the portion of the Torah as we learn our Father that's in heaven and this word that was given unto our forefathers. We're going to go into the Torah. We're going to read of the portion that's been selected for this Shabbat day. Now, the portion for this Shabbat day will be Numbers 16 and 1 to Numbers 18 and 32. That's Numbers 16 and 1 to Numbers 18, verse 32. Okay? Right. If anybody needs anybody need a Bible, everybody got a script. We call it a script or Bible. We have Bibles in the back, Brother Adnan in the back. Or if anybody needs one, don't have one. All right. We'll make sure that we're all on one accord, and that we all, are turning from verse and chapter. All right. All praise. It's going to make it all covered here. All right. BYOB, right? Everybody brought their own Bible. That's all good. All right, so we're going to get into Colossians 3, verse 17. First, giving all thanks to the Most High in the name of the Mashiach Yahushua.
Colossians 3 and 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High, the Father by Him.
Right. In all things we do, we make sure we give thanks to the Most High. Being unworthy of the gifts of grace and mercy, we receive it thankfully. Okay, we receive it thankfully. And we know the promise that the Most High has given on to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and we're living examples of that promise being fulfilled. Right, so as we come to keep the Shabbats, the new moons, the high holy days, we gather ourselves together as one body, one mind, in one place. It's truly, the will of the Most High that pushes us to do and then guides us to do this in His Spirit. Okay, and we henceforth gather ourselves together. All right, so without further ado, we're going to get into the portion.
Numbers 16, verse 1. Numbers 16 and 1. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kahath, the son of Levi, and Dathan of Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the sons of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown.
Right, men of renown. So these three men rose up. So who's the three men that rose up? All right, who called on to the three men's names that just rose up? Who's the three men's name? First is what? Korah, Dathan, right? And Abraham, right? Those are the three that rose up. And they took men. They took followers. But these were the shepherds of the movement that's about to go down. These were the heads. These are the ones that say, come, let's do this. Right? These were the chief men that had this mission that they were about to set forth and do. All right. So this rising up was orchestrated by these men. All right. Read on.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aharon, and said unto them,
right,
ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, even the Most High is among them. Wherefore, then lift you up yourselves above the congregation of the Most High.
Right. So what? They're challenging Moses and Aaron. Right? Now, mind you, we've been through the Red Sea. There's a chariot in the sky, right? But our people still tend to not want to put themselves in subjection to their own people, right? For some reason, that spirit is always amongst our people. We have that issue. Like, why we got to follow what he got to say, right? So that's what the Spirit was on these men. Now they know the Most High was with them, right? But what they said, the Most High is with us all, right? But the Heavenly Father set up this order, and they didn't want to abide by the order that was set up. Okay, so because they didn't want to abide by it, they took it upon themselves to now come against the order that the Most High set up. All right, the Heavenly Father put Aaron and Moses in their position. Aaron and Moses didn't even want to do it, but who knows the history, right? But the Most High said, "No, you're going to do this," and He put them in that position. Read on.
And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
Right.
And he spake unto Korah and said unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow the Most High will show who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him who we have chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
Right.
This do, take you censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Most High tomorrow.
Right, so what? Instead of Moses coming back at them, carnally, he said, we're going to put the Most High. We're going to let the Most High show us who he rolling with, what his setup is, because Moses was well aware that his position was given to him by the Heavenly Father. It wasn't something that he did himself. And he had no reason to, had no need to fight against Korah and these men. He said, no, we let the Most High make this determination. He said, get you censers. So what's a censer? This is an example of a censer. Okay. A censer is used, we have one here, we also have one right here, right? A censer is used to what? To burn the frankincense and myrrh onto the Most High, to make a smoke in the, amongst the children of Israel. So he said, you get your censer, right? And I'm going to get my censer. And we're going to see who the Most High is with. And he said, put fire in there. What does that mean? Light the charcoal. Everybody understand that? Read on.
And it shall be that the man whom the Most High do choose, he shall be holy.
Right.
You take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi.
Right. He said right back onto them. He said, no, you take too much upon you. Right? Because you the ones decided to raise up. The Most High not raising you up. Okay. So we understand that it's the Most High that he determines who sits in what position in Israel. Okay. Not ourselves. All right. Sometimes we think it upon ourselves that, okay, this man decided, or this man, but the Most High makes that decision. Right? It's up to us to just honor the decision that the Most High has made. Hold that with you open. Right. On the censer? All right, bring a precept on the censer. I'll bring it on.
This is Revelation 8 and verse 3. Revelation 8 and 3. And another angel came and stood at the altar having a golden censer. And there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne.
Right, so let's go into understanding what this censer represents. When you burn this frankincense and myrrh, that's a representation of the prayers going up before the Most High to help. Okay, so that's the significance of burning the incense and making the smoke. That's why we cannot set up a foreign smoke. All right, if someone sets up some other smoke, what happened to the brothers that set up a different smoke in the sanctuary? What happened to them? Now, what did the Most High do with them? He smoked them on the spot. On the spot. Now you might think that's rough. It's just all it was a different smoke, right? But this is the prayers of the saints going up to the Most High. It has a heavy representation of the heavens. So we can't take things lightly that the Most High is saying do, because we don't know the full significance, or sometimes we don't know the full significance of what he's telling us to do. But take everything as its grave importance, because these things are representations of things that are heavenly, and we cannot change the heavens. Right? When the Most High, he said he changes not. Right? The same yesterday, today, and forever. He don't change. So what he has created,
And the smoke of the incense, which came with the breath out.
Let's go back.
What was the other verse?
Give me Daniel. Give me Daniel.
Daniel 4 verse 17. This man is by the decree of the watchers, right? And the demand by the word of the holy ones, right? To the intent that the living may know.
That the what may know?
That the living may know.
Right. So who are the living? We are the living. So this is the decree of the watchers. The watchers are talking about the holy angels of the Most High house, right? That the intent is that the living may know, that we that are alive on this earth may know what? Read.
That the Most High ruler.
The Most High what?
The Most High ruler.
The Most High ruler. He sets people up and takes them down, right? We know.
Ruling in the kingdom of men.
In the kingdom of men, right? So the Most High rules in the kingdom of men. His decision is what governs us. Sometimes we think it's us. We decide to be the leader. We decide to be, to take control. Most High is taking control. Okay. That's what Moses understood. That's why he said when these men rose up, he didn't take it carnal. He said, all right, we're going to let the Most High make the determination. All right. Who's supposed to be in what position? All right. Read.
And give him it to whomsoever he will.
And give it to what?
To whomsoever he will.
He can give it to whoever he wants to give it to. Okay. He sets us up. All right. So as children of the Most High, we have to keep that in our minds, always in our remembrance. It's the Most High that sets up them. Puts people in a position. Whether you want to be in that position or not, if the Most High has pushed you to put you there, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. The Father's calling you to do this work. It's a calling, not by election, but by calling, as the scripture says. Okay. So that's all right.
And set up over it the basis of men.
He can even set up the basis of men over it if he chooses to. Okay. That means the lowest of men, he can put him on top of everybody. It would be his choice. Okay. So we have to be mindful of that. Moses was mindful of that. But Korah, Dathan, and Abraham, they were thinking carnally. They were thinking that these men take it upon themselves to do what they do. Take it upon themselves to lead us into the wilderness. It was not their idea. This is the work of the Most High. Okay. We gather ourselves together because this is the will of the Most High. Right? We keep a Shabbat because the scriptures have told us that this is the will of the Most High. The Shabbat is a holy convocation. So this is not by the will of man, it's by the will of Yah. All praise be to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, so let's go back. If you want something. Oh, the promotion. Yeah, Psalm 75. Yeah. Let's get Psalm 75.
Psalm 75, verse 6.
Verse 6.
Psalm 75, verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south.
Right.
But the Most High is the judge.
Right, the Most High is the judge. So promotion doesn't come from anything else but the Most High. Okay. He's the judge. He decides. He makes that decision. I'm going to set this man up, I'm going to set that man. That's up to the Most High. Okay? We honor it. That's our job. Yes. Scriptures gave us instruction. Give me, was it 1 Peter 2 and 15? 2:17? I don't know. Yeah. 2:17. 2:17? 1 Peter 2:17.
1 Peter 2:17. Honor all men.
Do what?
Honor all men.
Right, so what's another word for honor?
Respect.
Respect. Right? Respect all men, man. We respect our brothers, respect, what the Most High has set up. Okay? Read on.
Love the brotherhood.
Do what?
Love the brotherhood.
We love the brotherhood. This is what the instruction the Most High gave. Right? He didn't say to promote ourselves, but what? Honor all men. Love the brotherhood. Read on.
Fear the Most High.
Do what?
Fear the Most High.
Which is most important, fear the Most High. Okay? Fear the Most High,
Honor the king.
And honor the king. Who's the king? That's right. Whom the world calls Jesus Christ. But we know his name to be Mashiach Yahushua, according to the Hebrew. Okay, we're gonna give him all the praise. All right, so let's go back.
Numbers 16, verse 8. Numbers 16, verse 8. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi, seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the Most High power of Israel have separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Most High, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them.
Right, so the sons of Levi were separated from the other tribes to do the work of the Most High. Set up my tabernacle. My tabernacle. All right. The sons of Levi were set up and separated and given up a task to take care of the tabernacle. Right. There were 3 families that had duties of certain order when it comes to pertaining to dealing with the tabernacle. Who knows the name of those 3 families? Who remembers the name of those 3 families? All right. Number 1. Merari is 1. Give me another name.
Kohath.
Who's that? Kohath. Kohath is the other, right? What's the other one? Say it loud. Say it loud. I don't think you say the name right. Not saying the name right. It almost sounds like the right name, but you ain't saying it right. Gershon, right? Gershon. So you got Kohath, right? Mary and Gershon, and those 3 families, right? Were the now give me the other one that showed my families. In that corner right there. Right here? Yeah. That one I labeled. It's like that one. Like that one. Oh, you save it to the desktop? So you save it to the desktop. Right, so we get a visual of exactly what's happening here while we're in the wilderness. All right, so there it is. Right. So you see there's a family. See up top is Gershon, Merari, Kohath. You see it? Huh? Can y'all see that? You can't see it from there? Okay, I got to point to it. All right, so we have Merari, Gershon, and Kohath. And of course, this side is where Aaron and his sons and Moses were, right, which is the east side. And this is how we roll when we was in the wilderness. All right. What we bring it out now is that the families, these are the families of what? Of Levi. So the families of Levi was always right around the tabernacle. Okay, so they had their position. The Most High put the sons of Levi around the tabernacle. Now every other tribe had their individual sections, right? But Levi was all the way around the tabernacle. So he's telling Levi, you already been separated to do the work. Why are you trying to be more? So right now, they're trying to overtake Moses and Aaron and his sons, saying, you guys take too much on you. We all, that's what he's saying, we all had a spirit. But he's saying all Levi should be on the same level. This is what the Korah, David, and Abraham was thinking, right? So let's pick it up from there.
10th verse.
Come.
And they have brought thee near to him,
Right?
and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee, and seeketh ye the priesthood also?
He says, so Moses has brought you near to him, but you see that their camp is right around the tabernacle. He says, and you want the priesthood too? He said, what's going on with y'all? Right? So Levi had what's going on, right? Read on.
For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Most High?
Uh-huh.
And what is Aaron that ye murmur against him?
Come on.
And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up.
Right.
Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey?
Right. Wait, what did he say? Do that again.
Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey?
Wait a minute. What do you mean he brought him out of the land that was flowing with milk and honey? What land is he referring to? Egypt. And you say he's out of his mind. So he want to go back to captivity. See, a lot of our people get comfortable in captivity, right? With the little dainties that they can get. And they forget that it's worth sacrificing all that to serve the Most High freely. To serve the Most High and be what the Most High created you to be. Because he didn't create you to serve other nations. Everybody understand that? Israel is not supposed to serve anybody but the Most High. Go ahead and get Leviticus 25:55. Leviticus 25:55. We're not supposed to be serving these other nations, but our people forget that because they might have some comfort. All right? That comfort is very persuasive. Scripture says a gift destroys the heart. Right? Holy.
Leviticus 25:55. For unto me the children of Israel are servants.
Right?
They are my servants whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt.
Right? He said they are my servants that I brought forth from the land of Egypt. They nobody else's servants. They're my servants. Okay? Now the other nations, the Goyim, they were made to serve. Give me the 46th verse. They were made to serve. Same chapter.
Leviticus 25:46. And ye shall take them as inheritance for your children after you.
45th verse.
Moreover, the children of the strangers
The children of who?
Moreover, the children of the strangers.
The children of the strangers, those non-Israelite children, read on.
That do sojourn among you.
That come around us, read on.
Of them shall ye buy.
Of them shall ye what?
Ye shall ye buy.
Shall ye buy, you shall purchase them, read on.
And of their families that are with you,
come on,
which they beget in your land,
read,
and they shall be your possession.
They shall be what?
Your possession.
See, now they were created to be your possession, Israel. Okay, that's according to Torah. That's according to the law. These strangers are supposed to be your possession, but you are supposed to be the Most High's possession. Everybody understand that? If we serve these other nations, we got order. But then Dathan and Abraham, right? They're not thinking that way. They're thinking, man, listen, we had all those dainties back there in Egypt. They had America called Egypt, the land that flowed with milk and honey. A lot of people look at America that way, right? Especially those of us that came from other countries, right? That know how it is in certain countries. They say, man, America is it, right? Because they have everything is easy to obtain or accessible. But what they're taking from you is far greater than what they're giving you. Okay? What they're taking from you, all this damn wickedness that you engulfed in America, it's hard to even function and serve the Most High correctly in this kingdom, right? In this land. So no way is this the land flowing with milk and honey. Okay? That land is the true Jerusalem. Okay? Yeah?
Micah 2:10.
Right, come.
Arise ye and depart.
Hold on, let me get it. Micah 2:10. Got it? Micah 2:10. Very important scripture. Foundation scripture. Just when you start getting comfortable in your captivity, Micah 2 verse 10 is going to pop into your head. All right, read that.
Arise ye and depart.
Do what?
Arise ye and depart.
The scripture say, arise and depart. Get up and leave. Right? Read on.
For this is not your rest.
So this is not your rest. Come on.
Because it is polluted,
right?
It shall destroy you.
Come on.
Even with a sore destruction.
Right. It's going to destroy you because it's polluted. Polluted with what? With sin. With wickedness. All matter of wickedness in this kingdom. Wickedness on a high level. Our children go to these schools, they got to interact with all kinds of magnets that come out of the other household. Right? The things that they got to hear, man, you got to prepare them for that. Because when they go to school, they go into the battlefield. Everybody understand that? Because what they battle against is other spirits. Other homes got other spirits. Your home, you try to run your home in righteousness, try to keep the commandments, try to uplift the Most High Yahweh in their mind and their speech and their walk and their talk. And they get to school, and this is what they teach them. Right? What they say here now? Heather has 2 mommies. This is what they want to teach you their children in school. Right? And this is an actual book that's used in the school system. We're not even trying to perpetrate like this is not used. It's used. Right? They're talking about they teaching diversity. What they teaching is the devil. That's what they teaching. That ain't diversity. It's the devil. That's all it is. Call it what it is. Okay? So this is not to be taught to our children. Right? Heather's not supposed to have 2 mommies. If she did, how'd she get here? Okay? So Heather has a mother and a father that should be together for how long?
Forever.
Forever and ever. Right? Marriage is forever. Everybody understand that? Right? This is a concept that's not even taught to our children. That's what they should be teaching our little ones. If you get married, when you get married, you marry forever. So choose wisely. We're the most high. You're going to be with that person forever. Right? So this is the understanding that should be given to us. But what? The people got comfortable in Egypt. Egypt was doing all these things. In Egypt, it was a free fall. They were all matter of incest, all matter of fornication. That's why the Lord said the commandments was given to us as soon as we left Egypt, because that's all the stuff that was going on in Egypt. Okay? Bestiality, everything was going on in Egypt. All right, Quran?
Got a precept?
What's that?
Hebrews 11, 24 and 25.
Okay. What you said you had?
Oh, that was 1 Corinthians 7.
7 what?
7:23.
Oh, I'll keep that in mind. All right, we're going to read on.
Number 16, verse 12. 11. For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Most High? And what is Aharon, that ye murmur against him? And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up from the land that flowed with milk and honey?
Right.
To kill us in the wilderness?
To do what?
To kill us in the wilderness?
So now they still talking about they're going to be killed in the wilderness. Right? Well, they didn't have no meat. They were killed in the wilderness. Well, they didn't have anything. Killed them. They lacked faith. Man. Okay? Our people were lacking of faith, lacking of trust. Right? We have, trust in the Most High. It take practice to trust the Most High. Right? Because you used to trust in your own hands, what you can accomplish. But to trust the Most High, it takes you to try it out for a while. Right? And as you keep trusting the Most, you start to rely on Him. But at first, it's difficult. All right? It's understandable because you're trusting something you cannot see. Right? But you know that the Most High is there. Because you trust Him through faith. Right? What is faith? What is faith? Let's get into Hebrews 11. Let's see what faith is. And so we understand what these men were lacking. All right? Let's go faith. Hebrews 11.
Hebrews 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Right? So the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. What What do we not see? We don't see the Most High. We don't see the mighty angels. We don't see, chariots flying around, protecting us. But we know they're there. We know they're there. Why? Because we're preserved, right? We don't see the Holy Spirit, but we see the actions of it, right? We see us, the Bible's open. We see that what? We are receiving wisdom, knowledge, understanding out of the same book that's been in our households for generation after generation after generation. But now the Most High pouring the Holy Spirit out, and we able to read the book and understand what's going on. Okay. Really understand what's going on. Okay. So that's all what examples of what the Holy Spirit is amongst our people. Our people are waking up at an alarming rate. Right? Esau is starting to get nervous. I don't know what he's going to do. Right? But if you look around and every time you turn around, there's going to be a point where you can't go outside without seeing crickets and boys. What are you going to do that day? Right? You got to try to come with some other lie, but it ain't going to work. Right? Because his time is short. But we have faith to know these things are going to come about. We have faith to understand that this is the work of the Most High. Right? And how we're going to grow in the Spirit. David, Abraham, right? These men, what? They lack faith. Right? And they got 200 other men with them that lacked faith. Okay? So they were the shepherds of what? Of those that lacked faith in the wilderness. All right? So let's go back.
Numbers 16, verse 14. Moreover, thou hast not brought us unto land. Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that flowed milk and honey,
right?
Or give us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Without put out the eyes of these men, we will not come up.
Right.
And Moses was very wroth and said unto the Most High, respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one donkey from them, neither have I hurt one of them.
Right.
And Moses said unto Korah, be thou and all that company before the Most High, thou and they in Aharon tomorrow, and take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Most High every man his censer, 250 censers. Thou also and Aharon, each of you his censer.
Mm-hmm.
And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aharon. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the glory of the Most High appeared unto all the congregation.
Right, so the Most High's glory appeared. Right? His fiery chariots appeared. Right? And his essence was felt. Right? Read on.
And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aharon, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
Right, so what? The Most High said, listen, you better back up, because I'm about to light these men up. Okay? The Most High said, I'm going to consume them in a moment. You show that the Most High has, listen, he has power to consume our enemies in a moment. Okay. His grace, his mercy, that he has been showing us to this day is that what he gives us an opportunity to get ourselves together. All right. But when that grace time is up, he can consume us in a moment. Right. It's nothing from the consumers. Okay. I'm on. 10:31.
But that's why a lot of these churches don't like to refer back to the Old Testament, because that shoots down the whole theory about God is all love. You understand? We read that the Most High is the man of war, because there's different attributes. The Most High has different personalities. How are you going to put him in a box and say, well, he's just all love? You understand? Just as men and women, we have different emotions, right? So how are we going to put the Most High in a box and say, well, he's just all love? Hugs and kisses. Okay, so we have to understand the true power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yes, sis.
And not only that, I discovered Thursday night that a lot of Christians, the moment you tell them the truth, they get
furious.
Thursday, I was invited to a Bible study at Baptist Church, and I decided to get to my brother to go. And the lady that was in
They
charge,
didn't throw you out?
no, but she got mad at me. She got furious. Because when she was talking about deliverance and stuff like that, I asked her, well, where is her Bible? She went to James chapter 1, verse 1, something like that. But I can tell when I asked her, where was what she was saying, what scripture, what book, she got angry. And then when I read it, the first verse, actually went to chapter 2, verse 2. And I read verse 1, and it mentioned the children of Israel. And I said out loud, I said, oh, cool, so the children of Israel. So that's referring to us. We're not talking about the children of Israel. We're not, she just went off on me. And I was like,
learn the lesson? Lesson number what was it, 165? Don't go to the Baptist church Bible study. Okay, put that on your list.
She got so mad.
You didn't invite, decline that invitation. Unless you're going for the battle.
Right. You said against your better judgment. So you should listen to the first
She got
voice.
so mad at me, and she just went off on me. I'm the teacher here. We're not talking about children of Israel. I'm like, well, we are the children of Israel. We're not talking about that.
Right.
She went off.
You expect you have mercy, really, throw you out of there.
I'm glad you made it out with no bruises and cuts.
Most I protect you.
Man, it was funny though.
You gotta be protected from these stuff.
But you know what? It just confirms when we do venture out and we visit these churches, and we are able to confirm that we are actually learning the truth according to the scriptures. Because you see how idiotic these doctors are, and how it does not make sense. Okay, it's like saying 1 + 1 = 10. It's not adding up. Okay, so continue to get these scriptures. The time is at hand. You understand? I go to different camps, different states, different countries. The heathens, they're all raging because they know that their time is at hand.
No, but these people were black. They were us. They were decisions like
They were all they were black on the outside and white on the inside. You understand? Until a lot of our people have been educated, they have been indoctrinated by the wisdom of this world. You understand? I mean, I was in Baltimore. You had people that had a master's degree, bachelor's degree, and could not give me one of the 10 commandments. Okay, so what knowledge, what top knowledge do you profess to have that you don't know not even one of the commandments of the Most High? You know, so that's why the Most High said, what? The wisdom of this world is foolishness with him. All right, so we got to come to the obedience of this Bible. That's instructions before leaving earth. Let's go back to the Torah portion.
Let's get Hebrews 10:31.
Hebrews what?
10:31.
Hebrews 10:31. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power.
Right.
But call to remembrance the former days in which after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of affliction.
Right. So he says it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the Most High. Like he said, he told them to back up because I would consume them in a moment. Meaning that he was going to burn them up in a moment. He told Aaron and Moses, back up. Because that's the Most High. When the Most High loses patience, right? Destruction comes. Okay. We see it today. We see the visitation of the Most High on the earth. Huh? We see the destruction, what they call natural disasters. A lot of people don't know that's the Heavenly Father. All right. Give me before we go back to the Torah portion, Isaiah 29 verse 6. All right. Isaiah 29 verse 6. We gotta notice our Father's work. All right. You are gonna see, like I said, the chariot, but you're gonna see the works of it. You're not gonna see the angel, but you're gonna see his works. It's sort of like the wind. You don't see the wind, but you see things moving. Right? That's how the Most High moves on this earth. Right? Those of us that have that spiritual eye open, we understand that that's the Most High's work going down. All right, read that.
Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts.
Thou shalt be what?
Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts.
You're going to be visited by the Most High. Let's see how. Read.
with thunder,
with what?
with thunder,
With thunder, read on.
and with earthquake,
And with what?
with earthquake,
With earthquakes, read on.
and great noise,
And great noise, come on.
with storm and tempest,
With what?
storm and
So
tempest.
when we see these things happen on the earth, we know that's the Most High. People getting consumed by what they call natural disasters. That's the Most High bringing judgment on this earth. Okay. Read on.
And the flame of devouring fire,
And the what?
of devouring fire,
And the flame of devouring fire. Isn't that what he just said? I will consume them in a moment. Right? That's the flame of devouring fire. That's a fire that's so hot that it's just going to devour anything that comes in its path. Okay? You see what's going on in Hawaii, right? That flames is coming up, right? And anything in its path is getting destroyed. Anything in its path, anything get close to it is going to get destroyed. You didn't even have to touch it yet. That's how hot that fire is. All right, brother? Now let you up, brother. Huh. That's right. Seven our brothers in Guatemala, man. So you got natural disasters going on, but they call natural disasters, but we understand it as Hebrews that that's the Father's work going on here. And we have to make sure that we educate these people, that we bring them up on Torah, we bring them up on righteousness, because the Most High's patience is running out. And we don't want to see our people consumed. All right? You want to say something? That's up? Okay.
Numbers 16 and 22.
Right, number 16.
Numbers 16 and 22. And they fell upon their faces and said, O Yahweh, the power of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation?
Right.
And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the congregation, saying, Get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him.
Mm-hmm.
And he spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men,
Right.
and touch nothing of theirs, lest you be consumed in all their sins.
Right. So he said, what? Separate yourself from these men. Because the Most High was about to smote everybody. But he said, all right, well, just have them get from around these men, because these men going to get it. All right? The reason what's important that we see it here is that sometimes in our people, it's not the people, but it's those shepherds, man. Those wicked shepherds that got our people caught up in wickedness. And got our people confused, and the Most High got it out for them shepherds, man. Right? Because they're the ones that put themselves in a position of leadership. But where are they leading the people to? Right? These three men were shepherds, wicked shepherds of the people, of the flocks, and had them going astray from the Most High Yahweh. All right? Jeremiah 23.
Jeremiah 23, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah 23 and 1. Woe be unto the pastors
Right?
that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
Right. What does woe mean in the scripture?
Destruction.
That's right. Destruction to these pastors that got our people thinking that Christianity, Catholicism is the way. Right? And using the pulpit to get rich and have our people duped into believing things that are a lie. Okay? And a lot of them know it's a lie. Right? But they ain't going to hesitate. Why? Because there's no money, in teaching the truth. Right? You ain't going to get rich teaching the truth. I'll tell you that. If anybody got that talking idea, let me shut it down right now. Right? I've been doing it a long time. You ain't going to get rich doing this. Right? But what? We got to have that understanding that these pastors are going to be held accountable. All right? Read it. Hold on. Hold your question. Read it.
Therefore, thus saith the Most High, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock,
Right.
and driven them away, and have not visited them.
Right.
Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Most High.
Right? He said, I'm going to get you, man. He said, I'm going to visit upon you the evil of your doings. Right? They scatter our people into all these different religions, ideologies, right? They don't think they're not going to get away with that. Especially these high-level pastors that's getting rich, that have the ability to know the truth, which probably know the truth, but then they're not going to give up that money. They're not going to give up that stature to bring forth the truth. Right? So some time ago, even in New York, we had a pastor we confronted with this, had a pretty sizable church. And he says, I know we the Israelites. So we asked him, why you don't teach the people that? He said, man, they would run me out of my church. He said it straight up. He said, they would run me out of my church. I said, look at the brother, man. What do you say to a man that say, man, don't you know that what? You selling your soul then, man. You've been sold. Okay? What sense is a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? It makes no sense. Right? Read 23.
Jeremiah 23:23.
21.
I have not seen these prophets, yet they ran.
Right, I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. Read on.
I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran.
Uh-huh.
I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied.
Come on.
But if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words,
right,
then they should have turned them from their evil way,
right, and
from the evil of their doing.
Right, so that's all we do. We try to turn our people from their evil way. These pastors go out there and they go to these churches and they set up their congregations and things, but they're not turning the people from the evil way. Okay. I saw something on Facebook this week. They said, you could be Christian and gay. Anybody ever seen that thing? That's madness.
I saw a minister on Facebook a few days ago that was supposed to be gay.
There's a big time minister down here that he just came out marrying some man or something like that. And he a minister of the word, so-called. Right? Most he not sleeping. Let the Father see what's going on. His judgment is waxing hot. Right? And when it's time, it will prevail, and nobody can speak against it. Okay, you cannot speak against the judgment of God. Only question. Read on. I said on that. I said. No. Read 23.
I am Yahweh at hand.
Am I?
Am I a power at hand?
Right.
Saith the Most High, and not a power afar off.
Right. He said, and I hear. Don't you think I see what's going on? I see the Most High is not sleeping. He sees exactly what's going on. Read on.
Can any hide himself in secret places,
right,
that I shall not see him?
Come on.
Saith the Most High.
Read.
Do not I fill the heaven and earth?
Right.
Saith the Most High.
Right.
I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesied lies in my name, right, saying, I have dreamed.
Right. So he sees everything. Even these dreamers. Right. Every year people gather together. MLK. Right? Anytime you see MLK, you know you're in the hood, huh? Right? You know MLK right down the street, right? I don't know. I have no question where you at, right? Any state you go to, I don't care where you travel, you see MLK, you know you're in the hood. Right? Because why? His dream was to have us exactly where we at in the hood. That's what's his dream. His dream was to put us in the hood and for us to be okay with it. Right? That's why he said we're going to gather together with the other nations and we're going to be everybody's going to be good. No, we ain't going to be good. Right. We gather the other nations, we're going to be at the bottom. That's why the Most High, he severed us from the other nations. Right? So right here, we're in a wilderness being severed from the nations, and our wicked brothers here want to go back to the other nations. They want to go back to Egypt. Right? Not respecting the leadership that brought them out of the captivity they were in. All right, so we got to understand there's no new spirit on the earth, man. Every spirit you encounter, everything that you're going through today, our brothers and our sisters encounter them in biblical times, and they roll with it. That's why the scriptures will speak of your life today, because there's no new thing under the sun. Come? All right, so we'll get back to Numbers.
Numbers 16:28. Numbers 16, verse 28. And Moses said, hereby you shall know that the Most High has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after visitation of all men, then the Most High have not sent me.
Right, so he said, these men live long lives after what they have done, then I'm a false prophet. This is what Moses said. He said, if after this situation go down and these men are okay, then the Most High is not with me. So he knew that the Most High about to bring judgment on these men. Right? We don't.
But if the Most High make a new thing,
And
the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them,
Come on.
and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Most High.
Right, sometimes our people need to see something to understand. They need an example. You can talk to the people, but until they get to see that judgment come, then their mind is opened up to the power of Yahweh. Right? So the power that we serve. That he's not playing around. Right? Yeah, everybody it's like what they call it, a reality check. Right? Because we can talk, to someone, and you can show, but when they see that judgment go down, that's when their whole mindset is changed. So right here, he said the earth is going to swallow these men up. All right? That means that the earth is going to crack open and these men are going to fall in and it's going to close back on top. All right? Read on.
And it came to pass,
right,
as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them.
Right.
And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up.
Come on.
And their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah, and all their goods. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit.
Right.
And the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. For they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. And there came out a fire from the Most High and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
That's right. So he didn't forget those other ones that offered incense. At first he dealt with the shepherds. Then he said, those that was all backing these men, he took care of them too. Right? And the fire came out from the chariot, consumed them too. But these men were swallowed up by the earth. Right? So the earth opened up. Today, what they call sinkholes and different things. The earth opened up and they descended right into it with their tent and everything. Wherever their tent was, wherever they were set up, that whole area opened up and they went down. Right? So that what Most High showed his judgment on the earth. And that shows you also that the Most High will use what? He used the elements to bring forth his judgment. A lot of people don't realize that. You know what I mean? That what? The Most High ain't coming out of the heavens to come deal with a man. You're not on the level with the Heavenly Father. He can send birds to deal with you. He can send ants to deal with you and mess you up. You don't got to come out the heavens to come deal with you. Ain't nothing. Right? We got to understand we ain't nothing as the Most High. Right? He can just use wind and destroy you. Right? So we got to keep that in mind that it's a grace of the Most High that every day that we get to breathe, walk, and travel, go to and fro. That's a gift given by the Most High. Because it's nothing for to totally take us off this earth. So we know that our lives belong to Him. Right? Our soul belongs to Him. Right? We got to give Him the credit for everything that we receive, everything that we accomplish. We give the Most High the credit. You understand that? All right. Would you come?
Isaiah 47 verse 3. Isaiah 47 and 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Right. That's verse right there. I will not meet thee as a man. So don't expect me to come down here to come deal with you. You ain't nothing. Okay? That's what you got to remember. So, man, he ain't coming here to deal with me. He ain't going to call me up on the phone or nothing. Right? But he going to what? He going to deal with me using the elements, using other souls that's on this earth. He will send his spirit out with instruction to bring forth that judgment. Okay? That's the power of Yahweh. That's how he rolls. Okay? So we see things happening, schools getting shot up, okay? And a lot of us, they want to have fear in everybody. We shouldn't have no fear when we see that, right? Because that ain't got nothing to do with us. Because we keep Torah, right? Can you tell me if any person that got shot in any of these schools that got shot up for somebody keeping Torah? I can guarantee that none of them was keeping Torah. Because that's the Most High's word is true. You got to be faithful to his word. Okay? He said he's going to protect the righteous. We believe it. Wholeheartedly. Okay? And he has not showed us another face yet. Right? We got to stay on top of our game. We got to make sure we praising our power, we keeping these commandments. Right? That blessing, your blessings you receive is today. You being blessed today. Right? Yes, we got our eyes on the prize. We want to get in that kingdom. We want things at the end. But today you being blessed for keeping the Lord's statute commandments. You're being protected. You're being covered. Right? We have to understand that's all in the scriptures. Right? So those that departed from Korah and his company, they didn't get destroyed. They didn't get burnt up. They didn't get swallowed up. There was no disaster that came upon them. But what? The Most High reserved them. He moved them out the way. He said, I'm going to move you out the way because that judgment is coming. All right? And all that is according to what? According to Scripture, according to Torah. That's what the Father said he would do for the righteous. Okay? So, let's go back to Numbers.
Numbers 16:36. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aharon the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter down the fire yonder, for they are hollow. The censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad plates for a covering of the altar, for they offer them before the Most High. Therefore they are hollow, and they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel.
Right, so he took the censers and beat them into plates and left them in the tabernacle so everybody could remember what happened to those that came against the Most High as an example, a memorial. Okay, so the Most High would set up memorials for the people could look upon and have that example. Right, say, okay, I'm not going to do that because I remember what happened to those other ones. When people ask, what are those plates? They can remind them, those are the plates of the men that stood up against the Most High Moses and wanted to do their own thing. Right? The children of those Levites that thought because the Most High separated Levi, that they all Levi was on the same level. No, there's levels. It's always levels with the Most High. Right? It's always levels. Right? Let's read on.
We see when the Most High came back and said what? That we look at things on a personal level. But if the Most High set up a particular order, okay, it's not personal. Now you're messing with the order of the Most High. Okay, so we can't tell. We might think that, well, maybe I can do things better. Maybe things should be a different way. Maybe somebody else should be sitting that seat. Okay, but with the Most High setup, okay, you gotta be very cautious, tread lightly of what you do when you deal with these scriptures. Okay, everybody here plays a part. Yahushua has one body, has different members in that body, but you have to be careful and making sure what is your part in the kingdom. Okay, but Israel has that type of craft and a barren mentality. Okay, well, I want to do what that person's doing. Instead of fulfilling, everybody has a gift. Everybody has a gift here. So it will behoove you to go within your spirit, like, well, what's that gift that the Most High put upon me? What's in my spirit? That you don't step on somebody else's toes, or you don't envy, okay, the gift that somebody else has. Because there's so much, the scriptures say what? The harvest is plentiful, but what?
Laborers are few.
The laborers are few. There's a lot of work to be done. Last night, we had nobody here to do the video. Okay, so there's things that need to be fit. Okay, so we have to make sure there's always somebody fit in that position that needs to be upheld. Okay, because everybody's important. Okay, everybody's important in building this kingdom. All right, so back to Numbers 16, and we left off at 39. Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers wherewith they were burnt and offered, and were made broad plates for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger which is not of the seed of Aharon come near to offer incense before the Most High, that he be not as Korah and as the company, as the Most High said to him by the hand of Moses.
Right, so like you said, the Most High set up an order. Only the sons of Aaron would go into the tabernacle and deal with bringing forth the oblation, the sacrifice. That was their job. The other Levites had their job. If they were out of their job, they're considered a stranger. And sometimes you see the word stranger, people automatically think it's talking about the other nations. Not all the time. Stranger means that this is not where you're supposed to be. Okay? Anytime you're out of your position, you're in a position of a stranger. Right? Because you're not where you're supposed to be. Right? Right? What's the strange thing? Well, you're not where you're supposed to be, right? So keep that in mind. That order is set up. That like the priest is bringing forth your gift, excel at it. Bring it out, make it what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? If you don't have that gift, leave it alone. Okay? Right? Because everybody can we all come together. That makes the body. That makes the kingdom. Right? We form the kingdom. Right? There's no kingdom without the children of Israel. Everybody understand that? Right? It's not existing without you there. Okay? When you're there, now it becomes a kingdom. Like, for instance, before we get into the land of Israel, it was called what? The land of Canaan. It only got the land of Israel when we got there. Right? The people what make the place. Okay? So you got to make the kingdom what it is. The children of Israel. Everybody understand that? All right, let's read on.
41. But on the morrow, all the congregation of children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aharon, saying, Ye have killed the people of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass when the congregation was gathered against Moses, against Aharon.
So now we still got hard-headed Israelites. After all that took place, they still blaming Moses and Aaron, saying what? You killed the children of Israel. You killed the Most High's people. Right? So now they're talking against Moses and Aaron again. You see, sometimes we stuck on stupid. Right? They didn't realize this is the Most High. They want to blame him. Right? Read on.
But you know what? You know why they say that? Because the way Moses began to describe how he was going to die, that's how they ended up dying.
Right.
You understand? But you got to understand that there's certain men that's connected to the Most High that he will make that thing come to pass to prove who they are. Okay, so you don't want to, sometimes you want to come against, but you coming against the Most High, you coming against his order. You understand? Moses, immediately, what did Moses do? He fell on his face, right? Moses loved his people to the point where it cost him his own salvation dealing with Israel. It was times where Moses asked the Most High to take his life because dealing with Israel as a nation. Okay? But again, they thought that, well, the way he described how he was going to die, that's exactly how they died, correct? So they said, well, it was his fault. But knowing that still Moses was connected to the Most High. But the people still questioning, they saw that, okay, we left Egypt, we saw the Red Sea open, we saw the plagues, okay, and our people are still questioning the ways of the Most High. That's our people. That's how we know that we are the children of Israel. Okay, like when I was in Venice, the guy said he was a rabbi, he was Jewish. I mean, how do these people even believe that they are the people of the Bible, of the Torah? It's impossible. Okay, they do not fit any description, anything that is compatible with this Bible, with the Torah. Okay, we are the ones, when it said the ox love his owner and his donkey's master crib, but Israel does not. Okay, we don't inquire. People see us in these garments, they don't even stop like, well, why are you guys wearing these garments? You don't ask questions. Why are you standing in the corner? Why are you out here preaching? Right. They'll walk right past you. The only time they stop when they see maybe if we might be engaging a Caucasian or somebody from another nation, and we're showing forth the knowledge of the Most High, then they'll stop. Well, okay, these guys seem like They know what they're talking about. Other than that, they'll walk to and fro. Okay, but this is a elect few. 2/3 of our people are not going to make this. You have the 144,000, and you have the rest of the 1/3 of our people. 2/3 are not going to make it. It's just simple. Okay, 2/3 of our people have to die in order for the 1/3 of our people to make it through. So let us pray that we are not in that 2/3. Okay, and I stress to the men all the time that to do what? To strive for the mastery of the 144,000. Because what? At least if you don't make the 144,000, what's under 144?
1/3.
So if you just try to make the 1/3, and by chance if you don't make the 1/3, what's under the 1/3?
2/3.
So it's a thin line between 1/3 and 2/3. Okay? So you got to put that extra work in. The scriptures say what? To make your election sure. So that's what we have to do. Okay, make your election sure. Number 16 and 43. 43. And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a censer, and put fire therein from off the altar, and put on incense, and go quickly unto the congregation, and make an atonement for them. For there is wrath going out from the Most High. The plague is begun.
Right, the plague has begun. Right, so we know most of what he did with plagues. All right, what is that? He can come and bring forth sickness. That's another way that the Most High brings judgment, by way of plagues. Okay, so these are different ways that the Father deals with us in a fleshly manner. Okay, so he said the plague has already begun. You better go and light a censer and get prayed up. All right.
Psalm 65:5.
Okay. All right. So there's so many different ways that the Most High, deals with us. We got to make sure that we're aware when these things come about, because Esau will have you thinking these plagues are some natural occurrence, and it should happen. No, if you're righteous, they're not going to happen to you.
47. Aaron took as Moses commanded and ran into the midst of the congregation, and behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on incense and made an atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700, besides them that died about the manner of Korah. And Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed.
Wow. All right, so he had to run and make sure he atoned for them, and the plague was stopped. Okay, because he was traveling through 14,000 dead. How much died with Korah and Dathan? How much was that? Who remembers that number? Who remembers that number? So 250, right? So you got 250. You got Korah, Dathan, and Abraham, right? And you got now 14,000. So we dropping right now. The Most High is what? He's purging out the rebels from among us. He's saying, just the way he dealt with us in this wilderness, he's going to do this again. You understand? It's prophesied that we got to go through this again. So we learning how not to be a rebel, right? We want to learn from these examples, because when it's time for us to go through this again, we're going to be like, nah, I ain't coming to reconciliation. I know what happened last time. Earth opened up, plagues came, right? You ain't going to fall for none of those tricks. Like, no, I'm going to stay right. I'm going to stay right. Okay? I'm going to try to get, exalt myself. I'm going to let this thing go down. The Most High show us. Okay? Because he will show us. All right? 17 chapter, verse 1.
Number 17:1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and take of every one of them a rod, according to the house of their fathers. Of all their princes, according to the house of their fathers, 12 rods. Write thou every man's name upon his rod.
Right.
And thou shalt write Aharon's name upon the rod of Levi. For the one rod shall be for the head of the house of their fathers.
Mhm.
And thou shalt lay them up in the tabernacle of the congregation before the testimony, where I will meet with you.
Mhm.
And it shall come to pass that the man's rod, whom I shall choose, shall blossom, and I will make to cease from me the murmurs of the children of Israel, whereby they murmur against you. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel, and every one of their princes gave him a rod apiece, for each prince one, according to their fathers' houses, even 12 rods. And the rod of Aharon was among their rods. And Moses laid up the rods before the Most High in the tabernacle of witness. And it came to pass that on the morrow Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aharon for the house of Levi was budded.
It was funny, but you know what? It started to grow forth, leaves started to grow out of the rod, right? So he said, lay all the rods. Remember, there was still dissension in Israel. There was still those that was not sure who was supposed to lead. So he said, bring all the men you think is supposed to lead and bring their rod, the top men from each tribe. And they brought them all and laid them out. And laid them beside the tabernacle of witness. And went the next morning, boom. Aaron's rod started to bud. It started to bring forth green. Right? It started to grow life out of a rod. Right? Out of a stick. It's growing life. Growing life out of it. You know?
And brought forth buds, and bloomed blossoms, and yielded almonds.
Right? Actually grew almonds out of this stick. Right? Blossomed and almond. Like an almond tree. Out of this stick. You know?
And Moses brought out all the rods from before the Most High unto all the children of Israel.
Uh-huh.
And they looked and took every man his rod. And the Most High said unto Moses, break Aharon's rod again before the testimony, to be kept for a token against the rebels.
Right?
And thou shalt quite take away their murmuring from me, that they die not.
Right.
And Moses did so as the Most High commanded him. So did he. And the children of Israel spake unto Moses, saying, behold, we die, we perish, we will all perish. Whosoever cometh anything near unto the tabernacle of the Most High shall die. Shall we be consumed with dying? 18.
Mm-hmm.
And the Most High said unto Aharon, thou and thy sons and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary.
Go on.
And thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthoods. And thy brethren also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of thy father, bring thou with thee, that they may be joined unto thee,
Come on.
and minister unto thee. But thou and thy sons with thee shall minister before the tabernacle of witness, and they shall keep thy charge, and the charge of all the tabernacle. Only they shall come nigh the vessels of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they nor ye also die. And they shall be joined unto thee, and keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation, for all the service of the tabernacle, and a stranger shall not come nigh unto you. And ye shall keep the charge of the sanctuary, and the charge of the altar, and there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel.
Right.
And I, behold, I have taken your brethren the Levites from among the children of Israel. To you they are given as a gift for the Most High, to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Right. So the children of Levi was given to Aaron and his sons as a gift, so that they can take care of what? The tents. We went over that. One family took care of the tents. What was the duties of each family? Who remembers the duties of each family? The Goshen. What did the Gershon? What was their duties? Gershon's duties. Who remembers? Right. That's why this Numbers test, man. I hope that you were able to pass it, because you have all that information, okay? The hangers and the curtains, right? How about Kohath? What was their deal? I heard over here.
The candlesticks, the altars, and the vessels of sanctuary.
That's right, to bring the vessels into the sanctuary, set that up. So then what was a Merari? The boards and the sockets, all right. So they all had to get together to set this up. Right? Every time it moved, each family knew their portion, their part of the job. And they did their part of the job. All right? If you was from Merari, you should not be trying to do what Kohath is supposed to do. And if you were Kohath, you should not be trying to do what Gershon is supposed to be doing. Okay? Everybody had their position. They played their job, and everybody did their work. It all came together. These are lessons that we learned. Many of us have our own organizations and sanctuaries and things of the sort. Everybody plays their position. Everything goes smooth. Right? You delegate, make sure everybody got what they're supposed to be doing, and everything's going to go according to the word of the Most High. Right? And let every man do his work. Right? And everyone help each other in their works. All right? This is what the Most High set up. That's how you run your family. All right? You have your children, those of us that have multiple children now, right? You give them tasks. And make sure that they're on task and they give them what they need to do. Right? The husband got his job, the wife got his job, the children got their jobs. Everybody understand that? Right? And everybody do what they need to do in their position. There will be no issues. Most High taught us that through Torah. He taught us that through example. Right? But now if the wife is trying to be the husband, it's all drama breaks out. Right? Or the husband want to fall back and be a wife, drama breaks out. Children want to be the parents, problems. Okay? So we gotta make sure we stay in order. Everybody understand that? Right? This is the underlying spirit that we learn through Torah. We learn what order and how important it is. And how to keep it going, how to keep things righteous, how to keep things moving the way it's supposed to move. All right, so let's continue in Numbers.
Numbers 18, verse 7. Therefore, thou and thy sons with thee shall keep your priest office for everything of the altar, and within the veil, and ye shall serve. I have given your priest office unto you as a service of gift, and a stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death.
Right, so the priest's office mean that what? Taking the what? The offerings, dealing with the sacrifices, going into the Holy of Holies, standing before the mercy seat. These things are only Aaron and sons. The anointings, what else was the office? I think about to cover it, right? That was only for them to do that. Keep the menorah lit, keep the frankincense and myrrh going. Our menorah stayed lit. Right? The frankincense and myrrh never stopped burning in the tabernacle. These men were responsible for these things. Okay? So we got to keep that in mind. All right? It was 24/7. Now, today we come to the sanctuary on the Shabbat day. We have class a couple of days a week, and that's it. The sanctuary never closed. It was open continually. The smoke was sent up continually. All right, so it took his families to keep that going, and to keep it constant. Okay, let's read on.
8. And the Most High spake unto Aharon, behold, I also have given thee the charge of my heap offerings of all the hallowed things of the children of Israel. Unto thee have I given them by reason of the anointing, and to thy sons by ordinance forever. This shall be thine of the most holy things, reserved from the fire, every oblation of theirs, every meat offering of theirs, and every sin offering of theirs, and every trespass offering of theirs, which they shall render unto me, shall be most holy for thee and for thy sons. In the most holy place shalt thou eat it. Every male shall eat it. It shall be holy unto thee. And this is thine, the heap offering of their gift, with all the wave offerings of the children of Israel. I have given them unto thee, and to thy sons and to thy daughters with thee, by statute forever.
Right?
Every one that is clean in thy house shall eat of it. All the best of the oil, and all the best of the wine, and of the wheat, the first fruits of them which they shall offer unto the Most High, them have I given thee. And whatsoever is first right in the land, which they shall bring unto the Most High, shall be thine. Every one that is clean in thy house shall eat of it.
Right. So what Aaron and his sons, they ate, they actually consumed the offerings. They ate of it. Okay? This is their portion. So when you brought the drink offering, they the ones that drank it. Right? But now you bringing this offering to the Most High, but what? He set up men to what? To receive his offering. Everybody understand that? Now you giving the offering, but you giving it to the Father. But the Father can't eat or drink carnal food, right or wrong? Right? He can't eat or drink carnal food. So we set up men that what? Will receive the offering of the people. Which was what? Food, which is the burnt offerings. The drink was the drink offerings. And the meat offering, which is really meal offering, because that was the 10th deal of flour. Those were the cakes that was put on, that was brought to the tabernacle. They received it and they ate of it, right? Because that's their position. That's what the Most High set them up to do. Okay. People nowadays, these pastors now, they take advantage of that. They say, well, shoot, if the priest's supposed to get offerings, this is a good way to get rich, right? And they take the people's offerings and what? They fill their own bellies. They make themselves rich, right? They use their position what for industry. And that's not to be so. Okay. It was only supposed to be what was necessary for what? For their survival, for their what was needed for them. Not excess. Okay. But what was needed to keep the sanctuary going, to keep the priests going, because they worked continually to keep the tabernacle open. So they couldn't have fields. They couldn't have flocks. All they can eat and receive is what the offerings that was given. Everybody understand that? So if no offering came in, nothing was getting eaten. Because they weren't allowed to have fields and flocks. Right? Their time was all devoted towards what? The tabernacle. The offerings and the service, which was an everyday service. I gotta stress that enough so you can understand what was going on. It was every day. Okay. Let's read on.
8th verse. And the Most High spake unto Aharon, behold, I have also given thee the charge. Oh wait. Down 10. Numbers 18 and 10. In the most holy place shall thou eat it. Every male shall eat it. It shall be holy unto thee. And this is thine, the heave offering of their gift, with all their weight offerings of the children of Israel. I have given them unto thee, and to thy sons and to thy daughters with thee, by statute forever. Every one that is clean in thy house shall eat of it. All the best of the oil, and all the best of the wine and of the wheat, the first fruits of them which they shall offer unto the Most High, them have I given them. And whatsoever is first right in the land, which they shall bring unto the Most High, shall be thine.
Right. So what? We have an ordinance that your first flocks went to the sanctuary, or your first of your crops went to the sanctuary. Right. Whatever was first ripe in the land, you took it in. Right. Your offering, you dealt with your offering first, and then you dealt with yourself. Right. Nowadays, we deal with ourselves, and then we got something left to give to the offering. I think I got something left. We're supposed to deal with the offering first, and then we deal with ourselves. Everybody understand that? That's the order. The Father comes first. The scripture says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things be added on to you. So we got to make sure he's first. All right? Give me, what is it, Deuteronomy 6, 4 and 6.
6 and 4.
Deuteronomy 6 and 4.
Deuteronomy 6, verse 4. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh power, Yahweh is one.
Right?
And thou shalt love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart, with all thy soul,
Right.
with all thy might.
Come on.
And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
Unto who?
Unto thy children.
Right, we gotta teach our children to love the Most High. Right? We say it every Shabbat day, we say Shema Yasharali Yahweh Lahainu Yahweh Cut. Which means, hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power is one. Alright? Cut, one. There's one power, right? And we are to love that power. He's first, he's everything. Alright? Nothing you put before the Most High. The first commandment, who remembers the first commandment out of the 10 commandments? What's the first commandment? What's the first commandment out of the 10 commandments? Hold on. Raise your hand. Call on somebody. That's all right? Say it loud. Thou shalt have no other God before me. Nothing before me. Nothing before Yah. Yah is first. Right? He holds that position. Once he holds that position in your heart, mind, and your soul, then everything else will fall into order. But if Yah is somewhere down the lane, then the rest of your situation is not going to be in order. And other things you venture not to do is not going to be prosperous. Why? Because Yahweh wasn't first. Right? You got to keep Yahweh first. Now things are starting to what? Now things are going to line up. Okay. He said we shall teach it to our children. So you know it. Teach your children the same thing. Yo, did you put Yahweh first? What about the Most High? Right? Read on.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
Right?
And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house.
Right?
And when thou walkest by the way.
Come on.
When thou liest down and when thou risest up.
Come on. You're supposed to be talking about it all the time. Are you putting Yahweh first? Are you putting the Most High first? That's your children. Do you know how to put the Father first? Okay. Have you asked the Most High for that? What it said? Your child grab food and they go to eat it. What do you say? Did you say, hey, you might be so quick you might knock it out of their hand? Why? What are they supposed to say first? Right? We were taught that in the world even. We didn't even know that what it really meant. But even before we eat, we're supposed to bless the Most High. Right? We call it saying grace, right? Because what? We just take the food and scarf it down. What? They say, oh, you're being what? But greedy and gluttonous. Right? Did you not bless? You didn't bless that food? You're supposed to just eat it, jam it off. You forgot where it came from? Everything you receive coming from the Most High, yeah, huh? So we got that thought. If you got that thought in your mind, then what? You're going to put things in order. All right? You put things in order, and we diligently teach it to our children. You know?
And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand,
right?
And they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
Come on.
And thou shalt write them upon a post of thy house.
Right, write them on your house. Put the law on the door. Put the law on your wall. Put scripture up. It's a constant reminder. Okay. So that what you're constantly reminded that what? Oh, I gotta put your house first. Right? You know?
And on thy gates.
Right.
And it shall be when Yahweh thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he sware to thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob,
right,
to give thee great and goodly cities which thou built up not.
Right. So if you do this, what? You're gonna inherit the kingdom. Small instruction. Make sure you got the law written throughout your dwellings, on your gate, in your households. Make sure that you constantly be reminded of the commandment of Yah. That's what the fringes was given for, okay? It's a constant reminder that we got to keep the commandments. We went over that in the last portion, right? That these fringes was given to us that we don't go a horn and we don't go thinking our own that it's about us. That we put that Most High first. All right? Hard to be wicked with your fringes on. I mean, you gotta got a real cold spirit, right? Be wicked with your fringes on, right? So what? We make sure that what? We're being reminded, constantly being reminded. All right, to bring it to our remembrance. All right, let's go back to Numbers. called the best oil. I think it's
Numbers 18:14.
14, okay.
Everything devoted in Israel shall be thine.
Right, everything devoted in Israel shall be thine. Devoted means what you given it for. It shall be thine. It shall be what the chief priest. You know?
Everything that openeth the matrix in all flesh, which they bring unto the Most High, whether it be of man or beast, shall be thine.
Right.
Nevertheless, the firstborn of man shalt thou surely redeem, and the firstling of the unclean beast shalt thou redeem.
Right. I mean, what does it mean to redeem? That when it bring it to him, it shall return it. What the first child is belongs to the Most High. But what did he take instead of the first child? The children of Levi, right? The tribe of Levi. So he said, you redeem your child with the children of Levi. So as your child come out, you offer it, and then it is redeemed back to you as because the Most High said, I took the children of Levi instead of your firstborn. All right? You know?
And those that are to be redeemed from a month old shalt thou redeem, according to their estimation, for the money of 5 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary, which is 20 gerahs.
Right, so that was like an offering that was given when you had a child, you brought an offering to the sanctuary, you know?
But the firstling of a cow, or the firstling of a sheep, or the firstling of a goat, thou shalt not redeem, they are holy.
Right, so you bring that, they keeping that. You ain't getting that one back, right? They shall be holy, they will give it unto the priest, and they shall take it, you know?
Thou shalt sprinkle their blood upon the altar, and shalt burn their fat for an offering made by fire, for a sweet savor unto the Most High.
You know?
And the flesh of them shall be thine as the wave
Breast.
as the wave breast, and as the right shoulder are thine.
You know?
All the heap offering of the holy things which the children of Israel offer unto the Most High have I given thee, and thy sons and thy daughters with thee by a statute forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before the Most High unto thee and to the seed with thee.
Right, so who's he talking to? He's talking to what? The sons of Aaron. Okay, that's for them. All this is for them. Okay, his sons and his daughters shall receive of the offerings that come from the children of Israel. You know?
And the Most High spake unto Aaron, thou shalt have no inheritance in their land, neither shalt thou have any part among them.
Right?
I am thy part and thy inheritance among the children of Israel.
Right, so he said you're not going to get land to cultivate and things of that sort. You're going to what? You're going to be solely doing the work of the Most High. That was their position, you know?
And behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth in Israel for an inheritance.
All the what?
The tenth.
Right?
And behold, I've given the children of Levi all the tenth in Israel for an inheritance.
Right, so now all the children of Israel gave the tenth to Levi, the tribe of Levi, and then the tribe of Levi gave the tenth to the children of Aaron. Everybody understand that? That was how the tenth was given. What does the tenth represent? What is that? Tenth of what? What is that? The crops. He said all the tenth. What is the tenth? 10%. Right? All the tenth was given for all the tribes of Israel. They gave the tenth to the Levi. Why? Because the children of Levi couldn't do what? They could not gain their own wealth. Everybody understand that? They were not given land. Land is wealth. See, in this society, we talk about money, right? Money and wealth is two different things, right? Wealth recreates money, right? Wealth continues to feed you, continues to give you what you need over and over and over again. Money come and go, all right? That's a temporary thing, right? But wealth is something that you own that continues to give you what you need, all right? So land is wealth. You put your cattle on the land, right? And that brings forth what? The shekels. All right, everybody understand that? This is basic biblical economics for a moment, right? We're not used to having land, so we don't really know much about it. But we understand why, listen, Esau put his borders all over this earth. because he understands this as well. Who owns the borders, owns the land. The land brings forth the opportunity to bring forth what is needed. You bring what's needed. Money is something traded for need. You need something, you bring the money, you get what you need. Right? It's a system of commerce. But the land is the wealth. Because that's what continually creates the condition of receiving. You constantly getting from the land. So because the Levites were not given a portion of land, how are they going to receive? They by getting the tenth. That's the only way. Right? The tenth was never classified only to one category. Right? The tenth is whatever was being manufactured and amongst the children of Israel, the tenth went to the Levites. And then the Levites gave the tenth to the sons of Aaron. Right? Because that's a system we had on taking care of one another. Okay, everybody understand this? That's a biblical system that we had set up. Okay. Nowadays, what does the city do? These states, they taking a tenth out your paycheck. Right? Before you get it, they got theirs. Right? They call it what? They call it taxes, right? And they claim that you're going to receive services and listen. Majority of that money is going to go make them richer and richer and richer. The majority of that money that you get from taxes is because the people that collect the taxes are the people that own the land. That's their wealth that's coming back to them. Because they got the land, therefore you own the land, you might own your house, you better pay your taxes. You don't pay your taxes, you won't own the house no more. Why? Because you never own the land. Everybody understand this? This is the condition that we live in. All right. Something that may not be taught to us, in common, school system. Some of the upper economics, they might mention these things, but they don't understand that this comes biblically from the scripture. This is something we learn from scripture. Okay, right?
Yeah, they would call this biblical system communism.
Huh?
They would call this communism, right?
Right. They would call it communism. Right. Right? Everything we make common. Right? Everybody gets what they need. Okay. This is a capitalist society we live in. It's a demonic society. Right? Capitalism is demonic. Democracy is demonic. Right? It's the using of the needy to get rich. That's what they do in this society. Right? If you got something that the people need, you're going to be rich because you're going to use that need and get paid. Okay? That's what these big time pastors do in the church. Because people want to serve the Most High. It's in their spirit. They got a zeal for the Father. For what? Not according to knowledge. That's what Scripture say. They got a zeal. So they get paid off of the fact that they want to serve a God. And they feed them a God that they can continue to come back and keep serving. Right? And don't have to change anything. Right? With no rules. A God with no rules. A God with no commandments. That doesn't make no sense. Right? But that's what our people go to. They run to the churches. And that's why these pastors are rich. Okay? So we got to be more mindful of that. We got to see the game, the whole system, and know what to play our part. We got to come out of that system and come to the Father, right? And see what He said. All right. So we going.
Another thing they talk about is when they take out a check, that's Social Security.
Right.
And then you have financial people that have been saying that by the time that we are ready to actually get that money, they said it's not going to be there. So for the day you started working, if you're aware of how the whole Social Security thing works, you by the amount of years that you work, you accrue a certain amount of points, and that determines how much money you're supposed to get when you so-called retire. But they're already saying that by the time we're about to retire, that money is not going to be there. So where's all that money going? See, a lot of our people put their trust in the society, but it's going to come in naught. Okay, so it's time that we come back to the Lord's statute commandments. America's finished. A lot of these people, that's why they even came up with this cryptocurrency. Okay, a lot of people invest their money offshore other countries. Okay, they're coming up with this new currency. They also got this, some places they actually put these physical chips because there's a debate of this chip, whatever they actually put these chips that you go to your job, and how do you get in? Like you scan your hand on some barcode, you get in. So all these stuff they do in the society, getting out people, and some places these people are willfully allowing them to put these chips and stuff in their head. Okay, somebody makes somebody cutting you open and put these things inside, it just doesn't make sense. But you have people that are willfully doing it.
It's not just that. It's also these insurance companies too. They're scammers. They're getting money off of you, and for you're paying for a service, and
Right.
they're using loopholes to not pay you.
Right.
Like for example, car insurance companies.
Right.
I learned 2 years ago when I had my car wreck that once you finish paying your car off, they take uninsured motorists off of your policy.
Well, you have to be on top and be aware. A lot of times we sign things, you gotta make sure you read the fine print. That's why you ever hear those commercials on the radio, and when it gets down to explain to you, they say it real fast. What the hell they said? But you can't say that you were not advised. They told you that. They were speedily saying it to you. Okay, so you have to make sure you read the fine print. You understand? When you're signing things, a lot of times, even like when you're buying a house, you sign like 30, 50 pages at a closing. It's like no way you're gonna read that all at a closing. Okay, so Esau always puts things in, but you can't say that you were not told. Okay, it's there, black and white. Okay, so we're living in a country full of injustice. It's not America's not made for our enjoyment or our pleasure or for us to get ahead. Okay, we are in America to serve our punishment. Okay, but thank the Most High that our redemption is near. The Most High says He's going to do what? He's going to cut the time short. Okay, 2019 marks what? The 400th year of us in our captivity. Okay, and the Most High said, well, He's going to cut that time short, and the nations know it. Okay, you notice now all of a sudden all of them talking about John 3:16 that God loves everyone. Why were they talking about that during slavery? Where was the equality? Where did God love everybody when we were in slavery? Why all of a sudden now, because they know the Most High is going to bring judgment, we're grafted in. God loves everybody. Okay, but they never talked about these things when we were going through our punishment from the Most High. So that's how you know that the time is near. They can feel it. Okay, they can feel it. And when they see those signs that we put out there, okay, and it reminds them of what we went through and what they're going to have to pay, because the Most High says to do what? To prepare slaughter for their fathers. Okay, for their iniquity. Okay, for their children. So they know that they have to pay for the sins of their forefathers. Okay, the Most High said what? It's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Okay, they told you, well, that's the past. Well, how come they still hunted down people from the so-called Holocaust? They had this guy, he was like 90 years old, walking like back, he came to walk straight, had him in handcuffs, and he was some top officer in Germany during the concentration camps. Okay, they want to throw him in jail. But for things that happen to us, that's the past. Let bygones be bygones. Let's all get along. Okay. They teach their children from small about Anne Frank, about 6 million Jews, about the Holocaust. Never again. But they tell us to forget about slavery.
And 9/11.
Right. Remember 9/11. Okay. And I'm finding out now with that 9/11, they purposely set this thing up, and actually a lot of people got killed. A lot of people got sick from volunteering 9/11. Okay. In the city. People that work with the city, they actually gave them a lump sum of money because they know that actually people got sick there. Okay, so now the white man's the big drug dealer, the biggest drug dealer on earth. What is it for him to give somebody $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 when they're making millions of dollars a day selling drugs? So you're thinking, thank you, Mr. White Man, you gave me $30,000, $40,000 for killing my loved one. Okay. So they don't care how many people died during 9/11. Okay, they have what you call that population control. Population control, by they need to kill off a certain amount of people. because they're realizing that the white man is becoming what? A minority. Okay, that melanated people are starting to control the whole earth. So they have to kill off a certain amount of people. And what they doing what? In your food? Okay, the air we breathe,
Chemtrails.
the water, the chemtrails, okay, the GMO, all these fake foods. Like I went to the other day, I bought some watermelon. The watermelon had seeds in it, but it said it's seedless. So I went to the guy who was from Jamaica. I said, well, how come it says seedless, but there's seeds in it, but the seeds are white, so it's not real seeds? Okay, the seeds that are white, the actual seeds of the watermelon is supposed to be what color? Black. It's supposed to be black. Okay, so all these we eating all these unnatural foods. You have the China, the Chinese man on YouTube. He said, "Listen, I love my people, but a Chinese man said he will not eat from another Chinese person." Okay, he said they got fake rice out there. He even said that when you go to these Chinese restaurants, when you see the you think it's beef or broccoli, what they do, they put coloring on the pork. You're actually eating pork. You're not eating beef. Okay, you know they got when you go anytime you go around location Chinese restaurant, you never see any cats around there. Why? Because they're inside the shop being fried up for you. Dogs, rats. Okay, so we got to stay away from these places. Okay, if a Chinese man himself tells you he don't eat from his own people, that tells you something. Okay, and they allow you go in the hood. They all every corner. Chinese restaurant, liquor stores. Okay, they even have down the
Don't forget the Arab spot.
Arab down the block. They have a you can go donate blood. I've been seeing them on right around the corner. They got the blood donors. They sell their blood for a certain amount of money. Okay, so even like you might have a loved one that's in a hospital. You want to give them your blood. You can't even give them your blood. They take your blood and give you somebody else's blood. Because what they do, they refine, whatever they do to it, I don't know what they do to it. It doesn't make sense to me. If I want to give somebody my blood, why can't you give directly my blood? They give you somebody else's blood, so that defeats the purpose. Okay, so all these things we see in society, we got to get out of here. If the Most High don't come and deliver us, we're going to be dead. Okay, we're going to be dead. We got to get up out of here.
Get out.
You know, so that's why we went to Micah 2 and 10. This is not our rest. Okay? They will kill us if we continue to be in this country. Back in Numbers 18 and we left off at 23 or 21. And behold, I have given the children of Israel, the children of Levi, all the tenth in Israel for an inheritance, for their service which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Right. Neither must the children of Israel henceforth come nigh the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die. But the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they shall bear their iniquity. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance. But the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as a heap offering unto the Most High, I have given to the Levites to inherit. Therefore I have said unto them, among the children of Israel they shall have no inheritance. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take the children of Israel, the tithes which I have given you from among your inheritance, then ye shall offer up a heap offering of it for the Most High, right? Even a tenth part of the tithe. And this your heap offering shall be reckoned unto you, as though it were corn of the threshing floor, and as the fullness of the winepress. Thus ye also shall offer a heap offering unto the Most High of all your tithes, right, which ye receive of the children of Israel. And ye shall give thereof the Most High's heap offering to Aharon the priest. Out of all your gifts ye shall offer every heap offering of the Most High, of all the best thereof, even the hollow part thereof, out of it. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, when ye have heaved the best thereof from it, then it shall be counted unto the Levites as the increase of the threshing floor,
Right?
as the increase of the winepress. And ye shall eat it in every place, ye and your households, for it is your reward for your service in the tabernacle of the congregation. And ye shall bear no sin by reason of it, when ye have heaved from it the best of it. Neither shall ye pollute the holy things of the children of Israel, lest ye die.
Right. So what? It was their reward for doing the work of the Most High. It was the tithes was given. All right. So we got the churches out there saying the law is done away with, but they want to collect tithes. Right? They don't want to acknowledge the children of Levi, but they want to collect tithes. Right? That's backwards. All right. They were given because they didn't have the ability to go bring forth commerce. They had to get the tithes from the rest of the nation. Okay, and this is how we took care of our priests. All right. Give me Ecclesiasticus, the 35th chapter, the first verse. All right. Ecclesiasticus 35, verse 4.
The book of Sirach, 35, verse 1. He that keepeth the law bringeth offerings enough.
Right?
He that taketh heed to the commandment offereth a peace offering.
Right. So he that keepeth the law bringeth offerings enough. So this understanding of tithes and understanding that offering has to be given, this is part of keeping the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. Part of our duties as men, women, as the various sanctuaries or knesses, wherever you congregate at, you have to give offerings to that congregation, to that altar, to that place, to that building, wherever you gather at, right? You have to give those offerings. That's part of our law. It's not just because you feel like it. There's no law in the whole Torah. It was if you feel like it. Okay? Every law that the Most High gives us, it is a statute. It must be done. Okay? If you're not doing it, you're just breaking the laws of the Most High. Everybody understand that? Nothing is up to your discretion with the Heavenly Father. It's for us to what? Take instruction and follow instruction that was given. Right? Read on.
He that requireth a good turn offereth fine flour.
Right. He that requires a good turn offers fine flour. Meaning what? You offer the best. Right? The fine flour he offers. Because he wants good things to come his way. If you want good things to come your way, you offer good things. You understand that?
Right.
Read on.
And he that giveth alms sacrifice and praise.
Right. He that giveth alms sacrifices praise. Right? Because alms is done where? In what? When is alms done? Alms is done in what?
In secret.
In secret. That's right. Alms is done in secret. That's why you sacrifice praise. Meaning what? You don't do it for everybody to see you do it, so that they can say, "Oh man, look what you did." Right? Right? That's the what the praise of man in man's sight. Alms done in silence. It's done in secret. So you sacrifice the praise. You know.
To depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to the Most High,
Come on.
and to forsake unrighteousness is appropriation.
Come on.
Thou shalt not appear empty before the Most High.
Right. He says this, thou shalt not appear empty before the Most High. All right. So these are the laws. Right. This is what the Most High requires of the children of Israel. That when we gather together in our different respective places, that we don't come up here empty. We make sure that we are fulfilling this part of the law. We don't.
For all these things are to be done because of the commandment.
Because of what?
Of the commandment.
Right. He's only saying these things because of the commandment. And we just went over that commandment of the tithes. Right? We went over what was done, how it was, where did it come about? What's the foundation of it? All right? Was that the what? That the Levites and that the high priest had what was sufficient for them. All right? Because the rest of Israel supported them, the work that they were doing for the nation. Everybody understand that?
Con.
Read on.
The offering of the righteous maketh the altar fat,
Right?
and the sweet savor thereof before the Most High.
Right. The offering of the righteous is supposed to make the altar fat. Right? Not the priest fat. It's supposed to make the altar fat. Right? So that a lot of time in this society, because people have what? They have perverted this law. And they have used this law to what? To feed their own bellies. That made a lot of us be like we're hesitant. But the Most High showed us that no, this is law, this is commandment. We have to give, right? We all have to give too. We got to give, as up here. We're not exempt of giving. We all have to give. And that's how the Most High instills in us that spirit of each one we taking care of each other. Because we constantly give. We have that giving spirit amongst Israel. Okay?
Con.
Read on.
The sacrifice of a just man is acceptable,
Right?
and the memorial thereof shall never be forgotten.
Come on.
Give the Most High's honor with a good eye.
With the what?
With a good eye.
Give the Most High honor with a good eye. Don't give it like, man. I get something. Right? That's not a good eye. That's grudgingly. Right? You be looking forward to giving. Okay? When you doing your budgets or whatever you're doing or whatever you're putting together, I saw brothers bring some food and some bananas and stuff like that, or maybe you making sandwiches, make extra, right? Make sure you come with that giving spirit. That's what the Most High is calling for us to do. Everybody understand?
Con.
Read on.
And diminish not the first fruits of thine hands.
Right?
And all thy gifts show a cheerful countenance.
Show a what?
A cheerful countenance.
Show a cheerful countenance when you give your gift. Read on.
And dedicate thy tithes with gladness.
With what?
With gladness.
And dedicate your tithes with gladness. Be so happy to give. Read on.
Give unto the Most High according as he hath enriched thee.
Right?
And as thou hast gotten, give with a cheerful eye.
Right. Nobody can tell you how much to give, what you can't give. You got to give as the Most High enriched you. How did he bless you? That's how you bless. Everybody understand this? Nobody can put a number on that. I can't tell you how to bless. I can just tell you to do so. And I can't even tell you to do it if I'm not doing it. Everybody understand that? Right. We can't be hypocrites in these scriptures. So we all got to do it. Right. This is a nation that has to do that. Right. But we can trade ideas on how to make this law prevalent and that we're keeping it very well. Because it's all given to us because of the commandment. Read on.
For the Most High recompenseth and will give thee 7 times as much.
Read that again.
For the Most High recompenseth
The Most High recompenses, meaning he pays you back. Read on.
And will give thee 7 times as much.
Yeah, try it. See if it works. Right? Try the Most High. Right? You gotta trust him. Right? Read on.
Do not think to corrupt with gifts, for such you will not receive.
Don't try to pay nobody off because of your wickedness, right? Don't try to corrupt with gifts. The scriptures say a gift destroys the heart, huh? Right? And blind the wise, blind the eyes of the wise. So that's not the idea. It's not to pay anybody off, right? Because that's not going to work either. But it's just to give a cheerful gift. Read on.
And trust not to unrighteous sacrifices, for the Most High is judge, and with him is no respect of persons.
Right. So trust not to what unrighteous sacrifices. Right. So we don't want, unrighteous sacrifices. We want sacrifices that bring forth in righteousness and in love of the Most High and praise His high and holy name. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right. At this time, it's about 3 o'clock. We take a break at this time. All right. We have the half Torah. We're about to go to the half Torah. It was first Samuel's. But we completed the Torah portion for this Shabbat. So let's give the Most High hand for that. And I wish you knowledge and understanding. It's truly a blessing to be in the Torah every week to get these laws in us as we grow in the spirit of the Most High while Mashiach Yahushua and we grow closer to our kingdom. So at this time we take a break. Before we take the break, though, if you want to, we have, we're very thankful for the visitors that came. So Could the visitors please rise for a moment so we can give the Most High the praise? We brothers coming through and the sisters that came to visit with a lot of guidance. All right, hallelujah. All right, man. Thank you. You know, we extend our gratitude to you brothers and sisters coming to visit us. We're all about the building of the nation. We're all about, us coming together as a people. So it's truly a blessing. We're thankful to see you brothers and sisters coming through. Now, is any of the elders among you that want to say anything or address the congregation in any way, shape, or form? You can feel, this, if you want to come up, you can. All right, we're going to give that respect to the brothers that came. All right, anybody, any elder among you want to say anything or want to address anything? Microphone is yours if you want it. You know what I mean? All right. All right. We got to extend, if anything that you want to say. You want to say something, brother? All right. Come on, bud. Come on out, bud. We family, huh? All right. Yeah.
Hey, shalom, everyone.
Mic turn on. It's off. Turn it on. What's that? There you go.
Hey, we just want to thank you, brothers and sisters, for allowing us to congregate with y'all today. And we really appreciate y'all welcoming us with open arms to y'all congregation today. And it's a beautiful thing to see Israel come together as we are and united, man. It's a beautiful thing, man, and we really appreciate you, brothers, because, man, we only got each other in this walk as a nation, and I pray that we stay in contact and continue to build one another, man, and continue to further each other in this walk. So, and we appreciate you, brothers, for having us today.
Hallelujah.
And I just actually got back from California, and there was a big event. I didn't know it was going to be that big. You had True Nation, California Hebrews, you had the Sakari, you had brothers from Ohio, put up some videos. You had brothers and sisters from all over there. Actually, it's going to be an annual event. They actually rented out a portion of the park. They had to get a permit. They had a whole stage, everything set up. It was a beautiful thing. So, next year, Most High will be still here. The Most High redeem us for the Passover. We'll still be here, but it's going to be an annual thing. Brothers and sisters want to attend next year. Encourage it. It was Hebrews everywhere, and it was a beautiful thing. You had brothers and sisters there, might not have been on the same understanding with scriptures, but people put that aside for the common thing of Zephaniah 2:1, Israel gathered together. So again, I would encourage those of you to try to make it next year. Once I get the information, it's called GIFT, GIFT. It's really based on investing in the young generation coming up. And I did a lot of networking, met a lot of new people, a lot of old people that were there. So that's something in mind that you can try to set forth a goal for next year. Try to make it to that. So it's about the nation gathering, and I travel different congregations, and what I'm seeing that people are appreciating is congregations coming together and uniting. I don't have to say no names, but there are a couple of congregations out there that stay away from coming together, and that's not going to be acceptable in these last days. Okay, the Most High is bringing together a whole nation, 12 tribes of one nation, and that's what it's about. Okay, so again, we thank you again for coming. Know it's a sacrifice to come this way, and we hope that's the beginning of many more, complications.
All right. So at this time, we're going to take a break. We'll take about a half an hour break to 40 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll do the half Torah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right.